Welcome to Love is Alchemy, a monthly sacred circle offered by through the Love Mandala, where our purpose is to help you build a strong foundation of love for all your relationships. And we're so glad you're here. As we transition into the equinox and the change of seasons, I wanted to share a nourishing sound bath with you that will be led by my dear friend Sharon Martin. And we actually met many years ago in shaman training. So I know how deep this woman can go, and it's really a gift to have her here.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Sharon, would it be okay if I go ahead and share a little bit about you before you get started?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me tell you a little bit about Sharon's background. Sharon is an energy healer and intuitive who developed her own intuitive healing process that she combines with sound therapy. She's a certified Reiki practitioner, certified in Theta healing, and also is certified as a sound healer. She was gifted the titles of shaman and medicine woman in her work. And she also holds a certificate as a life coach since 2010. And in 2013, received a certification in the Heart IQ method, a heart intelligence program developed by Christian Pankhurst. She teaches heart-centered awareness training, which is an integrated solution of many heart-focused and law of attraction teachings combined with the information given to her through channeling and intuitive reading sessions. Her mission is to help others navigate all the major changes that are occurring with both Earth and humanity as we ascend to the next level. So if you know anything about my work, you know that this is a good match. So we're working in the same alley. So
Yes, we are.
yeah, and you know what? I will, in case you want to connect with Sharon, I'll put her email in the chat as well. And for anybody who's listening to this, I'll say it out loud once too. It's Sharon@smartinheart.com.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, and so I thought it would be fun. And let me remind people, like we'll share this on YouTube. So it's if you don't want to be on camera, put any questions in the chat. Um, we are going to spend just a few minutes talking about what a sound bath is and the benefits, and then we'll just dive in and you get to experience it because that's the real point of being here.
Yep.
Yeah. So what I often remind my clients is that one way to understand the experience is that we have our five bodies that we talk about. We have the mental, emotional, physical, energetic, and the light body, which is the higher self. And I bring this up because integration of all of those bodies is really valuable as we go through our individual healing journeys. And in addition, as we go through the ascension on this planet, we're constantly taking in more light. We're exposed to the process of releasing denser energies all the time. And there's this kind of back and forth going on as more light comes in and the density has to come out. And so that provides us this opportunity to integrate what's going on. And sometimes we can feel really out of sorts when we're feeling unintegrated. And I know a sound bath is a really enjoyable way to do this because it's as easy as it gets. You just lay back and receive. So Sharon, let me give the mic to you and ask you a couple questions, if that's okay.
Okay, sure.
So tell us, like, what do we know about how sound impacts the bodies? Whether you want to talk about the physical, mental, emotional, body.
Um,
Yeah.
and I can talk about all of those bodies at the same time because what sound really does is it goes in. Sound is a frequency, it's an energy frequency, and it goes in. And if there's something out of sorts in the body or in any of those areas, it can help bring it back into balance. That's the main thing it does, is it brings it back into balance, along with the healing properties that can come with it. I mean, they've done so much research on sound in the last 10 to 15 years, and they're finding that it can even go down to our cellular structure and change those cells back to where they should be. It does the same thing with the energy circuits we've got going around our body. And I know you talked about five. I'm aware of eight.
Oh
So
yeah, and it's a simplification. Like
yeah,
I probably should always caveat that it's a sort of like, oh, let's throw them into five buckets because
right.
many layers to who we are,
Right, but
especially
sound
the
has the ability to go through all those layers. I mean, you can have one frequency of sound that will go through and it will not balance everything totally, but it will balance anything that relates to that frequency. You know, sound is, especially, I use it. I think my favorite use of sound is the emotional level that we use, because it's such a good way to de-stress, and such a great way to change our mental outlook. It's kind of like, you know, if you turn your radio on in your car and it's on your favorite station, you feel better after you've listened to it. That's what sound does for you, but it does it for you on all levels. So, I mean, it to me, it's just probably one of the best therapies out there for all of us. And science is now, I mean, that's part of why you now walk into a doctor's office or a hospital or someplace where there's healing going on, you're going to be hearing specific sounds, and they're using those sounds that they've proven can help heal the body, can change the mental outlook on our brain, can de-stress us. It even does you know, it goes so far as to even helps our circulation and our breathing. There isn't a system in our body that it doesn't affect. So, you
Yes.
know,
So there's literally no downside on this one.
yeah, there is no downside. And one of the things that I do hear people say sometimes, or people ask, is, well, what about, you know, my doctor's got me on this medication, or he's got me doing this thing or that thing. It's not going to interfere with all those things. It's going to enhance them, but it is not going to interfere with anything your doctor prescribes or any kind of treatment that your doctor is giving you. It's just going to enhance the healing process at the time. So,
Yeah, and you talk a little bit about frequency. Do you want to say a little bit more, like why is frequency so important? I don't know if you want to talk about the chakras and their connection,
you
or
know,
or
I'll just make
generally.
Yeah, I'll just make a couple of general comments on frequency. We have in our bodily and hormone, you know, our different systems. We have a lot of different frequencies within us, within our body. Um, Different frequencies of sound can fix different things. You have some frequencies that are the lower frequencies are going to help heal, whereas the higher frequencies are going to help the mental aspect. We're going to help your brain. I mean, it has been shown that it can even help you learn faster and quicker. So certain frequencies do different things, and they affect different parts of the systems. So it's important that they're usually, you can find, I when I do my tuning fork healings, I have three frequencies that I work with all the time. And depending on where I'm working at with the person, or what it is we're working on, will determine which of the frequencies I use the most often. And I am very fortunate in the fact that I can work intuitively. So I don't have
Yeah.
to have, you know, it's not a matter of, I have to know that the 176 megahertz does this, this, and this. It's a matter of listening to my intuition and saying, this is the one you need to use, and this is where you need to use it. And, you know, I do the same thing when I do my sounds baths. It's intuitive. I may go into, and I have a couple of places that I do sound baths. I do one every week. And oftentimes I will go in, and there are times when I may not use all my bowls. I may not use a specific drum or a specific chime, because it's all done intuitively on what the group needs at the moment. And sound baths are the same way. It's all done, you know, and the frequencies, especially with tuning forks, are done the same way. There's certain things that work certain places, and you know, you just go with what you feel is right, or what
Yeah.
the angels are telling you is right.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're gonna have you, we'll be able to watch, which is kind of gonna be kind of fun because people can see what you're picking up off the table behind you and what
Right.
gravitate to. And you know, we've Sharon and I prepared and really connected in at the higher levels to say, like, bring through what everybody who sees us and who watches it later needs at the appropriate time. So it's really programmed, if you want to think of it like that, for those of you who find this and feel drawn to be a part of it.
Mhm.
I thought maybe the last question, because I don't want to take up too much time, I want you to actually be able to do your thing, is maybe just to talk about intention, because everybody who's either watching this or here can use the sound bath intentionally. It's always better when we're conscious about how we're integrating things and taking them in. Can you give us some suggestions about intentions that would be great for a sound bath or things to consider?
A sound bath should be, as you set an intention to listen to a sound bath, you should be looking at what is it that I need the most right now? Is it something mental? Is it something, do I need some physical healing? Do I need to de-stress? Do I need to have an answer to a question? Is there something that needs to be unblocked? And then when you figure that out, and usually those answers come fairly quickly to our minds, once you determine what it is that you want to work on, you set that up in a positive expression. You don't want to just say, oh, I want to feel better. That's not going to work for you, but you might want to say, I want to release any anxiety that I'm holding on to. Or
Yeah,
I want something to be, I want this sound bath to work on my emotional
yeah,
system.
yeah.
Those are things, those are the important things with that. And I go into it myself. As I go into the sound bath, I go into it with the intention of being the channel for the energy and for it reaching the person or persons that it's landing on and giving them exactly what they need.
Okay, so let's take maybe 30 seconds while, or a minute while you set up and
Okay,
get your table, and everybody just take a moment to pick an intention about what
great.
you think you need the most as a recipient of the sound bath. And I highly recommend that if you can, you just lay down and do it, because it's really, I mean, many times people will fall asleep in a sound bath. And if you don't, no big deal. If you do, you're still receiving the benefits. And if there is, the sound should be good. We've done a lot of testing, but if you feel like you're not hearing everything, it's still reaching you. It's just the way sound works and the way the intention of these things works. So don't worry if your internet blips or something. So yeah, so we'll hand that over to you, Sharon. And
Okay,
again, I'm
great.
going
Thank
to
you.
ask everybody to mute if you're not already. Thank you.
So hi, this is Sharon with Smart and Heart, and today I'm going to give you a sample sound bath. This is going to take about 10 or 15 minutes, and there's only a couple of things that I ask from you. I ask that you get comfortable in a position where you can relax and just enjoy the music. That you can be either sitting up or laying down, it doesn't matter. I ask that you give yourself permission to accept the vibration of the sound and allow it to interchange with your body and your energy fields, therefore receiving what it has to give you. And I want to tell you that if you happen to hear a discordant sound, something that sounds funny or maybe a little uncomfortable during this, it's because there was something in your body that needed to be released. And that is just the sound's way of dealing with that. So get comfortable, whether you're sitting up or laying down. And then I want you to take a couple of deep breaths, long deep breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And this time as you breathe in through the nose, I want you to breathe in peace and calm. And as you breathe out through the mouth, breathe out any worries, any stresses, any thoughts you're having, and allow it to be. So take your time, listen to the beat of the drum, and I want you to sink slowly down into your heart. Let those thoughts go, slow down into your heart so that you can think with your heart and not your head. And see a path in front of you. Walk down that path towards the gate that's there. And as you get to the gate, you'll notice on the left, there's a tree. If you have any remaining worries or doubts, concerns or challenges, hang them on the tree for the moment. You can pick them back up as you come back out. open the gate and you're going into your own secret garden where no one else can go without your permission. So walk through and close the gate behind you and just look around. What does it look like? Are you in a forest? Are you at the ocean? Maybe you're at the side of a lake or river. Maybe you're in your own backyard or up on top of a mountain. Maybe you're in your favorite place in the world. Take a moment as you're slowly walking through to just observe. Hear the sounds. Are there birds singing? Are there animals rustling through the grass? Is there something going on in the distance? And what do you see? What you see as you look around is a chair. There's a chair in front of you, and make your way to the chair. And when you get there, sit down. And you'll notice that this chair is made especially for your body. So sit in it, relax, and listen to the sound of the instruments. As you hear the beat of the drum, slowly get up out of the chair and walk back towards the gate, noticing any changes that have gone on around you. Perhaps there's an animal watching you, maybe even following you. Perhaps the scenery has changed. When you get to the gate, open it, walk through it, and close it behind you. And look at the tree. You'll notice that all those worries or stresses, all those things you put on the tree have now turned to brilliant white flowers. And it's up to you whether you take them with you or whether you leave them on the tree and walk on back down the path. So I have had a sound bath yesterday afternoon with a group that it was really funny because I had one bowl that kept wanting to fall over. And for about 5 minutes, that bowl wanted to fall over, period. And it would hit the table and make a different sound when it hit the table. So I figured, well, there was nothing I could do about it. That was it. I'd never had it happen before, and it obviously didn't happen today. But the bowls will do what they need to do to give the healing to you that you need to receive. So
yeah, that's beautiful. And it's funny. I usually close this call by saying thank you for coming to Love is Alchemy, where love is the medicine. But today we'll say thank you for coming, where sound is the medicine today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much,
Sharon, so much.
You bet. You all have a great weekend.
You too. Take care.